The absolute disrespect. Oba Femi just did what nobody saw coming, and if WWE doesn't address this immediately, we're looking at the biggest backstage chaos in recent memory. While everyone was focused on the tension between Bronson Reed and Bron, the NXT champion decided to make a statement that's going to send shockwaves through the entire wrestling world. What happened backstage wasn't just an ambush, it was a declaration of war, and the fallout from this is going to be massive. Before we break down every single detail of this insane situation, we have a quick request for you. We are constantly working to improve our content to earn your love and support. That's why we would truly appreciate it if you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update here on Wrestling Zone Insider. Let me paint the picture for you because what transpired backstage is absolutely mind-blowing. Bronson Reed and Bron have been circling each other like two apex predators for weeks now. The tension between these two powerhouses has been building to a boiling point, and everyone backstage knew it was only a matter of time before they collided. But here's where things get absolutely insane. Oba Femi, the NXT champion, someone who should be focused on his own division, his own challenges, decided to insert himself into this volatile situation in the most aggressive way possible. The reports coming out of the arena are painting a picture of absolute chaos. According to multiple sources backstage, Bronson Reed and Bron were having a heated confrontation in the hallway. Words were being exchanged, chests were being puffed out, and security was already positioning themselves because everyone knew this powder keg was about to explode. These are two of the most physically imposing athletes in all of professional wrestling, and when they are in each other's faces, you better believe the entire atmosphere changes. But then, out of nowhere, Oba Femi came charging through like a freight train. The NXT champion didn't wait for an invitation, didn't try to play peacemaker, didn't attempt to calm the situation down, he came with bad intentions. Femi hit both men with a level of aggression that caught everyone off guard. We're talking about a calculated attack from someone who clearly has been watching, waiting, and planning for the perfect moment to make his presence felt on the main roster scene. Think about the audacity of this move for a second. Oba Femi is the NXT champion, meaning he's technically on the developmental brand, but this man just ambushed two of Raw's most dangerous competitors without any hesitation whatsoever. This isn't some rookie trying to make a name for himself with a desperate move, this is a dominant champion who's been running through NXT like a wrecking ball, and he just sent a message that he's ready for much bigger things. The way this ambush went down shows the level of physicality we're dealing with. Femi didn't just run in and throw a couple of punches before security broke it up. According to eyewitnesses, he came in with serious intent, taking both men by surprise and delivering devastating strikes before the chaos erupted into an all-out brawl. Can you imagine the scene? Three absolute monsters going at it in a backstage corridor, equipment being knocked over, production staff scrambling to get out of the way, and security trying desperately to separate three men who probably combine for over 700 pounds of pure muscle and aggression. Here's the first question I want you to answer in the comments below. Do you think Oba Femi's ambush was a smart career move, or did he just make two extremely dangerous enemies? Drop your thoughts down below because this is going to be a hot topic of debate. Now let's talk about what this means for all three competitors involved. Bronson Reed has been on an absolute tear since his return to WWE. The man has been demolishing opponents with his tsunami splash, and he's been vocal about wanting to prove that he belongs in the main event picture. His physicality, his intensity, and his willingness to hurt people has made him one of the most feared competitors on the roster. Before this ambush, Reed was already laser-focused on Bron, and now he has to deal with Oba Femi adding fuel to an already raging fire. Then you have Bron, second-generation superstar and one of the most naturally gifted athletes WWE has seen in years. Breakker carries himself with the confidence of someone who knows he's destined for greatness. He's got the pedigree, the look, the athletic ability, and most importantly, the killer instinct that made his family legendary in this business. Breakker wasn't backing down from Bronson Reed, and you better believe he's not going to let Oba Femi's ambush slide without consequences. This man has too much pride and too much legacy on his shoulders to let anyone disrespect him like that. And now we add Oba Femi to this explosive equation. The NXT champion has been absolutely dominant in his reign. He's steamrolled through every challenger put in front of him, and he's done it with a level of aggression and dominance that's reminiscent of the great monster champions of the past. But here's what makes this situation so fascinating. Femi isn't content with just being the big fish in the NXT pond. This ambush proves that he's got his eyes on the main roster, and he's willing to step on anyone's toes to get there. The backstage reaction to this incident has reportedly been mixed. Some people are applauding Femi for his boldness and his willingness to seize an opportunity to make a statement. Others are questioning whether he just bit off more than he can chew by attacking two men who are known for their retribution and their unwillingness to forget a slight. WWE management is now in a position where they have to figure out how to handle this situation because you can't just have three top-tier talents going to war backstage without some kind of official response. What's particularly interesting about this whole situation is the timing. This didn't happen randomly. Oba Femi chose this specific moment when Reed and Breaker were already at each other's throats to make his move. That shows intelligence and strategic thinking beyond just being a physical specimen. He saw an opportunity where both men would be distracted, focused on each other, and he capitalized on it in the most violent way possible. That's the kind of ring awareness and situational intelligence that separates good wrestlers from future legends. The implications of this ambush extend far beyond just these three individuals. This could be the beginning of a feud that involves multiple brands, multiple championships, and potentially changes the landscape of WWE programming for months to come. Think about the possibilities here. You could have a triple threat match scenario, you could have a situation where alliances are formed and broken, or you could have three separate feuds spinning out of this one incident. The creative possibilities are absolutely endless, and that's what makes this so exciting. Let's also consider what this means for the NXT brand as a whole. Oba Femi is their champion, their representative, and the face of their current iteration. Having him make such a bold statement on the main roster stage elevates not just himself but the entire NXT brand. It sends a message that NXT isn't just a developmental territory anymore, it's a breeding ground for legitimate main event talent who can hang with anyone on Raw or SmackDown. This is exactly the kind of moment that can shift perception and create new stars. The physical nature of this confrontation cannot be understated. We're talking about three men who rely on power, intensity, and physical dominance. None of these guys are high flyers doing fancy moves, they are smash-mouth, hard-hitting competitors who thrive in chaotic, physical environments. When you put three competitors like that in the same space with bad intentions, the result is always going to be explosive. The fact that this happened backstage, away from the controlled environment of the ring, makes it even more dangerous and unpredictable. Security and backstage officials had their hands full trying to separate these three titans. Multiple reports suggest that it took a significant number of people to finally get the situation under control, and even then, all three men were still trying to get at each other. That kind of genuine intensity and aggression is something you can't fake,